When I work with a private student, we thoroughly work the voice so that all the notes needed for songs are easily available. That is actually what all of those vocal exercises are for. Perhaps you might notice that after successfully doing all the exercises, you get to the song and it's a total fail. It's probably because of this one reason. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Monique B. Thomas, and this is episode 23 of Monique on the Mic. For the last 25 years, I've dedicated my life to helping people learn how to sing and to develop their unique talent. Now, this journey has been extremely rewarding for me, and yet a bit frustrating, because many people come in missing this very one important ingredient. I bet you can't guess what it is. It's not talent, it's not a beautiful voice, or even great ears. What is it, you might ask? It is that each person must give themselves permission to sing. Now, that might seem strange, but I see it all the time. Most people don't give themselves permission to sing or stand out in any kind of way. I often hear people say, "Oh, I don't dare do something." Or here's another common one. "I never took lessons with you because I didn't feel like I sang good enough to take lessons." I find that really odd. I mean, the idea that you have to be good in order to take lessons. What is the point of taking lessons if you're already good and you know everything? But let's look at where this comes from. I find that most of the times this comes from someone's education and or even religion. It's, cultural, something learned from a young age. If you come from a family that is shy or extremely reserved, you'll most likely be shy and or reserved when it comes to making any type of noise, especially singing. Or it could be that your voice is actually naturally rather loud, and from your earliest memories, your parents or your family members or friends or even teachers told you to be quiet. So in order to fit in and make life easier for yourself, you gave in and you took away your permission to sing, not just around those people, but all of the time. Now, why does this matter? This goes way beyond just singing. You singing is a form of communication. It's a way to show that you exist. If you don't have the permission to make any kind of noise, what other things are you not allowed to do? Cut your hair, wear red lipstick, drive a motorcycle, take dance lessons, ask for a raise, set healthy boundaries, and say no to abuse. I mean, this list goes way, way, way beyond just singing. You can see that it's about taking up space. Not more than your allotted space, but certainly not less. Let's say this is the space and permission that you earned simply by being born. I'll spare you the details of how babies are made, but I'll say this. It is a miracle any of us are here today, and so permission is granted upon leaving the womb. That is reason enough for celebrating. So what can we do about this problem about permission? I want you to literally give yourself permission to do the things you weren't allowed to do just because some adult felt it was bad for you and you obeyed because you're a good person. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about things like physically or mentally or emotionally harming people on purpose. I'm simply talking about things that lots of other people take for granted. So here's what you are going to do. So I want you to close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and say, "Today and every day, I forgive myself for not believing that I had the permission to do blank, for at the time I did not know any better, but now I do." So this will sound like this. Today and every day, I forgive myself for not believing I had the permission to sing, for at the time I did not know any better, but now I do. Okay, so this could be singing, but it could also be any other activity or thing that you didn't know you were allowed to do. Now, please do this, even if you're absolutely sure that you don't need it. Trust me, you do. This is part of taking back your personal power that belongs to you and only you. Next, I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper. Write today's date and write the following. I, and write your full name. Give myself permission to do whatever you thought you had no permission to do. And so it is. So here it goes again. I, Monique B. Thomas, give myself full permission to sing, and so it is. Whenever you find yourself feeling intimidated by that activity that you want to do, you simply reread this paper in a strong and clear voice. In fact, it's best to place it where you see it and read it several times a day. Perhaps you could put it on your bathroom mirror or even on your vision board if you have one. But the idea is that it's readily available, and it might take you a month or more, but you'll start to feel a shift in how you feel about it. It'll start to feel less weird. It'll start to feel easier. Now, I know this might seem silly, but it's not sillier than waking up at age 50 never having done the things your heart desires to do, or worse yet, doing the thing halfway because you still kind of need permission from someone in your childhood. The truth is, you might not ever get that permission from that person. First of all, they might be deceased, or they might not even realize the effect their words had on you. And that's okay. You can secretly forgive them too. Just place your hand on your heart and forgive them. Now, just to be clear, I'd avoid telling them that you're forgiving them, since they will certainly find that to be a little weird. They might not even know what you're talking about, and you might cause a conflict. So just do that, in the privacy of your own home. Don't even bother them with it. Remember something. Forgiveness is always for you. It's not for the other person. If the other person gets benefit from forgiveness, then that's a bonus, but you're always forgiving someone to free yourself of the hold that that person's acts have on you. So go ahead and forgive them and don't tell them about it. Now, you need to know that the longer you've been acting under the assumption that you didn't have permission to do something, the longer it might take to feel comfortable doing that thing. And that's okay. There's no better time than the present. But don't waste any more precious time not doing what it is you want to do. Take your power back, because tomorrow is not promised. Now, if you still feel like you're struggling after doing these things, it's possible you might need someone else to give you permission. So here I am. I, Monique B. Thomas, give you permission to take your power back and do that thing your heart is calling you to do. It is not too late. It is not too late. It is not too late. That's another fallacy that people get stuck on. They think, well, I haven't done this and now I'm 60. It's too late for me to start singing. I call BS. There is a list of examples of people all over the internet who have started things later in life. In fact, those things often go viral. You'll see a lot of people in their 80s or 90s who are incredibly successful bodybuilders. You'll see actors like you can name like a Morgan Freeman and plenty of other actors that got their big breaks very, very late in life. Now, if after all of this, you realize that this episode really struck a nerve, and it just might, you might need some extra help with therapy. There's nothing wrong with that. Get the extra help that you need so that you can start living a life full of activities you're passionate about, even if no one understands it. Now, this is a rather short episode, as I'm currently in Tahiti teaching gospel choir to about 85 people, some of which are giving themselves permission to sing for the very first time. I see it all the time, and it always gets me that it takes a 5'1" black woman from the U.S. to get people to sing and dance and clap their hands for the very first time. And I don't mind it, even though I find it often a little bit sad that it takes someone else that they don't even know to give them permission, but I'm more than happy to be there. In fact, I love watching these transformations, the tears of joy that I get to witness, and the coming together of people from all different backgrounds in order to learn 3-part harmony and sing music that they don't know anything about, from a different culture. And the results are spectacular. I've been told that people feel blessed to be a part of this, but the truth is, I feel blessed to be able to see it. I really hope that you've enjoyed this short but sweet episode. Please, please, please pass this episode on to someone in your life who keeps waiting for the right moment to do something. There is no right moment. The time is now. Musically, Monique.